All right. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Lupus Talks. Today's date, of course, is October 15th, 2024. And we're going to just get ready to share some great information today with Calvini Williams and, of course, with our sidekick, Dolores Olson. And we also have special guests coming on today as well. And we're just looking forward to the opportunity to continue to share in this series of Lupus Talks reference to ways that you can better yourself and just give information that's pertinent currently today. And with that, I'm going to let Dr. Williams take over the floor. Dr. Williams, go ahead. You all
Okay,
set?
thank you. And also, we have co-host Dolores, and I just wanted to gather together. We're on location, which is one of the things we're going to start doing. Oh, my name is Dr. Calvin E. Williams. I think he gave that to you. And we have Dolores Chaplain, Dolores Olson Robinson, and we're going to be talking
Hello.
about. Excuse me.
I said
Hello.
hello.
Oh, hello. We're going to be talking about what we're here to do. And I think I'm so excited because, like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of site interviews. Right now, I'm over here. I'm going to move my head. We're over here. If you can see this sign, Medicare Resource Center, Medicare by AMA. And that's so important because we're starting to get in signups with this Medicare Advantage Your Way, 2025 enrollment, and then we have healthy food highlights. I think that's wonderful with well care. There's a lot of us that are in the medical situation right now that I know one of my nurse practitioners told me that he's not available until June, so you have to wait till June. Well, I have lupus. What does that mean for an autoimmune disease and those of us who sarcoidosis, scleroderma, Hashimoto's, those of us that have lupus, those of us that have discoid lupus? What does it mean? It means that we're on our own. It means that the people need help and they're not getting help. Is that too loud for you guys? The background? Is the background too loud?
No, no, no. You good.
Okay. And we're in the office and they're signing up people now. And I'm very happy for that. But that means that we're on our own. That means that we have to take care of our own situation, especially for different things that we encounter every day. From earaches to this, we can go to the emergency room, but we have to wait forever with the emergency room. They're saying in my medical for United Healthcare, and I'll say that they don't have transportation anymore. Well, what if the doctor says you can't drive your car, and I don't have any transportation? How am I going to get there? I'm going to get there by the bus and come home by the bus? No. I can't stand out in the sun for any limited amount of time with lupus. I'll pass out with the medication that I take, especially the blood pressure pills. I think I take two or three of those. So that's where we're at now. We're not complaining. We're just trying to update everyone to understand that there's a lot of medical situations like Anthem, Alignment Health Plan, Select Health, Aetna. We have Humana, United Healthcare, WellCare, Molina Healthcare, and Cigna. And I think that's important because it gives each and every one of us an opportunity to pick what we want. Now, I know in California, Dolores, do they have the same one or do you have to go sign up or what? I know with Medicaid, you don't have to, do you? And with the regular Social Security, would you like to expound on that?
Um,
Hello?
I'm not quite for sure. It's a little bit more different out here in
Mm-hmm.
California, but I believe all Medicare is the same. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what state you should be in. It shouldn't matter. I don't think so.
Hmm. I think, I tend to think Medicare is all over. And I tend to think that they are slashing because they're talking about that 2025, not to go over you, but 2025, we talked about that before. And that's what Christy is going to talk about again a little bit, because 2025 goes all over the United States dealing with Medicare. And they said they have 942 pages of Medicare. Situations, that we're going to have to deal with. Uh, it behooves me to think about why we're always up against the gun, especially seniors. There's a lot of cut. They said there's going to be some cuts, but the ones that are going to be at odds are the seniors. That's who's going to be at odds. That's what we were told. And it's a sad situation because when you get old and have silver hair, you might die or whatever. I just turned 68 and today's my birthday. We look forward to the good days. We look forward to being able to do free things that we love to do that we weren't able to do when we were working for 34 years. So it's just sad. But here we are doing what we need to do. And before she comes on, Dolores and I had talked about lupus fog. So we want to get into that a little bit because I think I hit on everything that I can hit on. And Dolores and I talked about lupus fog and memory problems. Um, Dolores, are you ready with your script? We'll
Um, I'm on
find
the
you.
road right. I'm on the road right now,
Oh,
so
okay, okay.
I had to jump off. I had to jump off and go into the other device to be able to activate it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go ahead with what I have. Is that all right?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll be right back
Okay.
on. So I'm gonna click off and click back on for the other side.
Okay. Lupus fog and memory problems. That was important because I have that quite a bit, and I take a pill. I took Prevagen, and that's been pretty good for me, where it helps me think and it helps me not forget a lot. And lupus fog is the forgetfulness, fuzzy-headed feeling that can that can come with lupus erythematosus, lupus erythematosus. I'm gonna say that. I think I said it right. SLE can be one of the most frustrating symptoms. The term lupus fog means more than memory problems. It also refers to the cognitivity, such as trouble helping your child with homework or writing a grocery list. And that's so important because at times I went to go write something and I call myself an author, a pretty good one too. But I had fog. Everything went blank, and that was a major problem with me. Lupus fog is generally named the cognitive impairments that often appear with including concentration, memory problems, confusion, difficulty expressing yourself. And I've had that. I've had a lot of that. So that's why I went and got Prevagen. The good news is lupus fog doesn't usually get progressively worse, and it doesn't. Like dementia or Alzheimer's, says Lisa Fitzgerald, MD, a rheumatologist at the Lupus Center. She's at the Lupus Center of she's at the Lupus Center of Boston. I tore that. Boston, and she talks about the memory issues and the probability of wax wane. And, I had wax in my ear and I didn't know how much. A lot of us don't go get that taken care of for years. And that can actually hurt us too with our fog. We're trying to figure out why can't I hear? Why can't I do this and that? Because you have not, you got to clean out those ears and keep them clean. The exact cause of lupus fog is hard to pin down, experts say. They are hard. In some cases, lupus can damage cells in the brain, leading directly to cognitive problems. However, in most cases, other factors play a role, including fatigue, stress, depression. Lupus fog is sometimes worse in people with also. I have fibromyalgia, and it's worse with my fibromyalgia. You got pains hitting you this way, that way, this way, and now I have neuropathy. So I take this gel, which is a neuropathy gel, and it has lavender in it, and it puts me to sleep and it stops the pains going up and down my legs. Although it's possible the side effects from drugs such as the NSAIDs or steroids can worsen lupus fog. Experts say that it looks like stitching, switching medicines rarely resolve the problem. I'm one that I'm tired of taking medication. Okay, I have 28 pills now. That's not a funny matter. Um, it's time that we need to understand that we need to take hold of ourselves. There's one Dr. Katz, MD, a rheumatologist and associate professor at the medicine at Rush Medical College in Chicago. When you meet new people, use the name a few times in conversation. That's a good thing. You will remember that name. Uh, and also put a sticky with that name, on it. Put that sticky with that name on it. And because I had a problem with my son's wife, and he said it was Kiana, and I couldn't pronounce it for months. My son got angry. I said, "Why are you getting angry? That's me with the situation." "Oh, mother, you blame everything on lupus," because it was a lupus situation. I couldn't figure out. So what I did phonetically, I had to write her name out, Key. And I took Kia and I put Key, Key. That's how you have to do. You have to write it associated with something else, Kiana. And I put Yan, Yawn, Yan. And then on the, I had to put Nun. That's Kiana, so Kiana. Yeah, so that's how I pronounced it. And that's how I was able to really understand what the pronunciation of her name was. Um, Experts help. Oh, I don't know if I'm this doctor. Okay, this associate professor of medicine at Rush Medical College in Chicago. When you meet new people, use their names a few times in the conversation. After a chat or meeting at work, repeat the main points. It will solidify your memory and let others fill in anything you miss. It's so important, even when you do a broadcast. Now I don't know why I can jump in a broadcast. Well, that's because I did it practically my whole life. When I did shows and I was in the Bay Area, on certain spots dealing with on Comcast and all of them, dealing with my shows, and had to understand what the topic was about and understand my guests. So I went back there and made sure, again, these are the topics we're going to talk about. These are the topics that I had to do that, because a lot of guests will not get on if they haven't reviewed the topics, if they haven't researched the topics themselves, because they think they're going to be grabbed the wrong way. And we're not going to grab them the wrong way, because they won't come back again. So that's exactly what I do. Now, Dr. O's says that people with lupus fall should figure out when there's most efficient and schedule important tasks for them. That's like time yourself, that's what you have to do. Then you do stretch your memory as long as you can, stretch it. Playing word games and doing crossword puzzles. I do that myself and can help. It helps sharpen my memory. So now I'm going to get out of that. We can continue that on later. We have our guest here, and I'm so happy to get her on here. We had her last week, and a lot of technicalities happened. So Christine is here, and she's a personal friend, and I think she's going to be a lot of help for all of us in her office. So here, we're going to take it away.
I can just switch seats
if
that's easier. Yep.
See me getting up slow.
I got that sciatica too. So.
This lady, she's black or white?
She's Asian.
She's Asian?
Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Here's
Hi. Welcome to the Calvina Williams Lupus Show, and we're at the Medicare Resource Center here on Tropicana and Eastern at 2250 East Tropicana Avenue. We're right next to Silver State Credit Union. So if you're local in Las Vegas, Nevada, you can come in and walk in. We have licensed agents and brokers here to help you this Medicare season to make sure you're getting the right Medicare plan for this upcoming Medicare season. So I'm here to talk to you about some of the major changes that you need to be aware of for Medicare season this year. And this affects everybody. If any state, anywhere in the U.S. For Medicare. So if they are on a Medicare plan and they have a drug plan with Medicare, you will be affected by these changes that I'm about to go over with you. It's called the Inflation Reduction Act. I'm sure many of you might have heard some rumors or some talking about it or read it in the paper about the Inflation Reduction Act. So the Inflation Reduction Act is a government-imposed regulation on the Medicare drug plan, which is really going to help people that have very expensive drugs cut their costs for next year. However, it's also going to have an effect on your plans as far as maybe some of the benefits might get cut this year, because This regulation is now putting a lot of the drug costs on the carrier's dime, where they're paying for the overages after a certain amount, which next year your capped amount is going to be $2,000, meaning your maximum spend on medication with any Medicare drug plan will not be able to go above $2,000 before you will pay zero or nada. Okay. And what happens after 2000 is the insurance company has to pick up that amount over that $2,000. But for you, if you had a very expensive drug, let's use an example of, for example, Ozempic. Many people are on that drug for diabetes and other reasons. That drug, as an example, may cost you, let's say with a copay that you might be paying per month, maybe $47 a month. But we both know the drug is a lot more expensive than 47. So let's say the drug is about $500 a month to fill that drug. If you were getting on an Advantage plan for next year, or you're on an Advantage plan and you had this situation, you might pay $47 for month one, $47 for month two for February, $47 for April, $47 for March, and then $47 for April. And if that drug is $500, the carrier's still paying $500 for it, even though you're only paying $47 each month. And so once that medication, what is called the total drug costs, reaches $2,000, you are done paying. So many people will see on their budgets for next year, and I can run a budget summary for you if you need to show you exactly what you'll pay each month and how much, and when you'll hit that $2,000 mark. And then you'll see that from like April on, you're paying $0 for that particular all of your medications. So it'd be $0 after April. And just with that one example of that one drug, that's how that could work for you for the new Inflation Reduction Act measures and the limitations of the cap of the medications. Right now, this year of 2024, it is $8,000 before you hit that zero mark. So that's a big change for people that have very expensive drugs. And guess what? If any of you have ever hit that horrible donut hole where you had to pay 25% for your medication instead of that copay that you were used to in the middle of the year, that donut hole process is completely going away, thank goodness, for next year. So we've been asking as agents for that donut hole to go away for quite some time. So we're very excited about that change. It's going to save customers a lot of money, and they're not going to have unexpected charges in the middle of the year for their medications any longer. They'll have their copay or their coinsurance. And that's the other thing that's changing on many plans is they're going from a copay to a coinsurance because the prices of the drugs are inflating. They're getting higher. So they're trying to cover that cost by changing from a copay to coinsurance. And the other thing that the Inflation Reduction Act is adding is a $590 deductible. So whereas many people might have paid zero deductible for many years and been on a plan for many years and paying $0, many plans are putting into this $590 deductible or a partial of it. So some plans might do $175, some plans might do $250, some plans might do $290. They may eat some of that cost for you for that $590. If they do, that's great. That means you're not having to pay out anything when you go pick up your drugs if they cover that $590. If they do not cover it, guess what? Many seniors are going to experience when they get to the drug counter in January and they go to pick up their medications. And let's say they've never had a deductible before. When they get to the counter in January, they're going to say, hey, where's my $590 before I even give you these medications? So we want to save seniors from that situation occurring and make sure they understand what their copays are for next year, what their deductible is for next year, or if it's a turn to a co-insurance, so that they can make sure to have the best money savings and not experience that huge financial impact of having to come up with a deductible in January. Now, if you are one of those plans or persons that has that $590 deductible and you get to the pharmacy in January and you cannot pay that $590, there is a help program. Every carrier is supposed to offer a 12-month payment plan where you can contact them and set up a payment plan with the carrier, and you can break out your payment of your medications as well as your deductible into 12 equal payments, and they can adjust it as you get more scripts or not have scripts during the year. But you'll be paying the carrier instead of your pharmacy that monthly fee, and you can break it out so that you don't have to come up with those big dollars in January. So this is very important information I want to make sure to share with everybody. So if you've not looked at your plan, or you've been like, it's been the same for years and it's never changing, they're always saying it's changing, this year it's legit, it's actually changing. and you could suffer financial impact if you don't get with a broker or agent and check your medications and check and make sure that what your deductible is, what your co-payments are, they might have changed. And here's the other big thing that you need to be aware of. Many carriers are cutting the formularies. What does that mean? It means your drug might not even be covered, meaning that I'm looking at I just did a plan review and there are several medications they're just not covering anymore. Dupixent, I know, is one of those ones that many carriers have said, nope, we're not going to cover this one anymore. It's just too much money. We have a therapeutic drug in that category, and that's all we have to provide. So we're getting rid of these expensive ones. So this could affect you if you have some of these medications that may not be being covered. So you need to get with a agent or a broker, because if you go in January and it's not covered, it's too late, right? And you're going to need your meds in January. So get with an agent October 15th to December 7th. It's your time to select a plan. Make sure you're set up for January with your right option. And I always make sure to inform people to understand the difference between a broker and an agent. Brokers are better, in my opinion. You know, once you go broker, I make the joke, you don't go back. Brokers have all your options of different plans to offer you here at the Medicare Resource Center in Vegas. We offer all of the carriers in our local market, and we can definitely help our customers make sure they're getting with the right plan. Whereas an agent may only represent a few carriers, and they're only going to represent the plans that they're able to represent. So that's some differences that you should be aware of when you're looking and seeking help from the market and wanting to speak to a broker or an agent. So I hope this has been educational and informative to you. If you would like a plan review and need help, you can walk into our office here and any available agent can assist you. Or if you'd like to call and make an appointment with me, you can call 702-702-3885, extension 8220, and or you can email me at Christie, CHRSTIE, at lvhsa.com. That's L as in Las, V as in Vegas, HSA for Heart and Soul Agency. I believe in bringing the heart and soul back to insurance, and I'm here to help all of lupus of Nevada and other lupus patients. I'm licensed in 10 states. So, and if you're in another state I'm not licensed, then I'll be happy to hook you up with a licensed agent or broker in another state to make sure you're getting the right assistance for your plan reviews. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Calvinia. Is there anything else that I can do for you or anything else I can help members with their health care plans? I do both the Medicare, the over 65, as well as the under 65. So happy to be of assistance.
Thank you.
I'll switch places with you. And if there's any questions, just let me know. Did you want to cancel that? Yeah, you're next. I'm almost done. I just got to do her meds.
Give me the mic.
Oh, here's the mic. Oh, here you go.
Okay, thank you,
All right,
Christy.
you're welcome.
You see what she did. It was wonderful. You know, we got the information we needed, clear cut, understanding the situation at hand. It's so important. As I was telling, excuse me 1 minute. As I was telling Dolores that it's so important. Medicare is all over. It's all over. So whatever changes they're making, they're making. Why this is not acting? I hope you hear me. Okay. Whatever medications they're making, and it's all over. So it's some important information. I'm happy that we did what we needed to do. Ed, are we going to close out now, or?
Yeah. We're going to close out now. We wanted to get that information, which was pertinent, of what she was sharing, and it was great information. I'm really excited for everyone who tuned in to get the information. And we're also going to be posting this on the social media page on Facebook for Lupus in Nevada, and as well as the website and on YouTube. Lupus in Nevada has its own YouTube channel, and we'll be posting it on YouTube, so you guys can go back and listen to the information that was shared and what Dr. Williams was sharing as well. So again, we just want to make sure that everybody gets the correct information, the right information, so they can make the right decisions as to their health, their plans,
I gotta go back and look at my notes, but let me go back.
and understanding the rules and the laws that have changed. And so this is very vitally important. And reason why we want to share this is because we want to make sure everybody get the right information. So with that being said, I want to thank Dr. Williams, Dolores Olson, and as well as Christy for sharing great information today. We're going, guys, happy birthday again to Dr. Williams.
Thank you.
This is her 60th birthday. We want to thank her for lovely, after 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, she's been doing this organization for over 20 years. She has books out. Loving God While Living with Lupus. You want to check that out. Donations, you can also donate to the organization. They are 501c3, and you can send your donations to lupusinnevada.org. And you want to make sure all the information that we're sharing is for a good cause, is for information, education, and
And
making sure
advocacy.
and advocacy, yes, and making sure that we help everybody across the board, no matter what city and state you're in. Of course, this is Lupus in Nevada, out of North Las Vegas, Nevada, but we're all over. So it's good for us to make sure that everybody understands that this is for everybody. It's not just for a particular group. So that's why you want to say any final
Yeah,
things?
I wanted to add to the book that I wrote was a children's book. It's hard to get your mind out of a children's book when you try to be a child.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's Chris and Christina have lupus, and it's very important for those of you that are out there that have an avenue to get to the elementary schools. It's a really good book for the kindergartens and all of them to read that book. Read it. The parents read it to them. There's also a manual with that. I wrote the book with the piece of being able to go to the schools and let the teachers teach them what is this disease. When they see somebody standing under a tree, what is it? What do I do? Why is he standing under a tree? I'm going to pull him out into the sun. So that's why the book is excellent to educate really the adults as well. And there's an adult manual. So I think that's important. There's another book coming out, and I'll be giving that to Ed updates, and it's coming out soon. So thank
Yeah,
you so much.
that's a good thing too. Also, with that book that you wrote, the children's book that you put out there, they can also hold discussions, group discussions
Hmm.
about the book
Hmm.
with the kids in schools, and
Hmm.
we want to make sure that the teachers get access to the book so they
Hmm.
can also share that
Hmm.
information with their students. So it's a good opportunity for us to grow and expand. And
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
guys can get the book directly on Amazon and as well as from the website. And you can also just look at what she's put together here, which is a really great piece of work.
Read
Uh,
it at night. It's wonderful. The mother, the grandmother, they get into the bed with their kids and start. They love it. They just read it like Hansel and Gretel.
right.
I'm going to be Nana, which a grandmother,
Okay.
January 28th. I can't wait. That's the first one. So I'm
Right.
a happy little camper. I'm smiling because I'm glad that God sent that baby to us. I kept asking him, when you gonna have a baby? When you gonna have? He said, Mama, men don't have babies. I said, when you?
Right.
And I would ask his better half, Kiana, when you going? I don't know. Ask him. So she's 7 months. She's going on 7 months, and I'm just really excited about it. They're in Miami. Keep them in prayer. Tornado ripped right through their house, so
Mm,
they're building on it now. And his feet was hanging up because the tornado, came directly uh, in line with him and his wife, and he was scared. He called me 10 times that night and mentioned God so many times it wasn't funny. It's because
yeah.
he needed it. So maybe this will change
Right.
his mind. And those of you that don't believe in the man upstairs, you better get
Yeah.
ready. It's going to be worse than that.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm really thankful for you sharing today, Dr. Williams, and also promoting the book, and also believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, she's also a creative person as well with her Crocs. So that's another
Oh,
piece of
yeah.
information
Right.
that you guys.
Thank you, Ed. And
Yeah.
also, there's a hat coming out, Ed.
Oh, okay.
This hat is, I got to burn it on top, and I'm putting the fabric of Louis Vuitton, this, that. When you guys see that hat, you're going to want it.
Right. So
Because
you can
that's
also get that on the website on lupusinnevada.org. Every purchase will be given to the donation for people who suffer from lupus, autoimmune disease, and getting the right information, again, advocacy and all of that, education out to them on a timely format. Now, and we enjoy everybody to join in with us to be basically ambassadors with us in reference to sharing this information on a regular, consistent basis. And as Dr. Williams is over at the Medicare Resource Center in Las Vegas, these are opportunities for us to really connect with everybody to help everybody who is suffering from this autoimmune disease. And Ms. Dolores, do you have anything you want to share or say as well?
Well, I'm just saying that this was some incredible information. I'll open it up for a minute. Yeah, this is some incredible information that I'm glad that she was able to come back on for part two. So we learn more about what's happening with this Medicare and, the insurances. And so I just say that we just have to really just, keep our eyes open, just really, just listen to things, because things change. And we just have to keep up to date on those records and stuff of Medicare and stuff like that, because things change all the time.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for that. That is correct. And we want to keep everybody up to date as we continue to share this on a regular basis. And then we'll have a part 3 and a 4 as well as we continue to send this series out for the month of October. Now, believe it or not, October is Awareness Month for a lot of various things. We have Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October. We also have domestic violence, abuse, and that's also for awareness too as well. But we have a lot of awarenesses for the month of October. But let's clearly understand the awareness of giving right information to people who are suffering from lupus. And lupus is one of the autoimmune diseases that is still in clinical trials and checks and everything, and trying to figure out what's going on with that, and then people getting properly diagnosed early stages or early signs of detection will help you get the support and help and assistance that you need so you can deal with it. And a lot of people have not been diagnosed properly or have been diagnosed at all and didn't understand until the seriousness happens to them. We always say the butterfly effect is real. So you want to keep that in mind, that when we talk about these different ailments in our bodies, what we're doing, how we eat, what we eat, and what we put into our bodies. Again, you either eat to live or you eat to die. And that's clearly as cut as you can get it. So you want to eat to live. And we are of the earth, so we should be taking things from the earth. That's to heal our bodies and to keep us going throughout. So with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in for this edition of Lupus Talks. We're going to talk again next Tuesday. We got a lot of good things coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And then on my podcast, I just got through finishing up a series as well on my podcast, GTE Professional Network Podcast, where we talk about your website and basically how to prepare your website for maximum online presence, making sure that you maximize your opportunities as a business owner. And for nonprofit organizations, churches, local businesses, I do a lot for them. I help them out, and we talk about growth, which is the most important thing on the market. So with that, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Till next week, we want to thank you and keep building a dream, ladies and gentlemen, and keep safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.